Hello, my name is Gary, and this is my presentation for Matthew Kenney Online Level 1. So I'm going to talk over my avatar here due to some earlier recording difficulties, but I've got three courses that I'm going to present today. I've got a taco china trio of tacos, I've got wild rice with stir-fried vegetables, and then to finish it off, if we have time, I've got mango ice cream with a little bit of oat crunch. So let's get started here. I've got my three taco shells. They were cut out of the tostada shell, so I kept the outer part of the tostada shell that I'm going to use is a garnish on the plate, and I brushed that with a little buckwheat honey, so it's got a little bit of flavor too. You got to continue to season your food as you go along. So my first taco, I've made a little bit of green papaya salad here, based on some recipes from my Vietnamese friends, and then a few shiitake anchovies, because the Vietnamese or the green papaya salad would typically have dried shrimp or fresh shrimp in there, so this gives it a little bit of a kind of faux seafood flavor, and then put a mint leaf in there to just kind of boost the mint that's already in there. My second taco is a little more on the Latin side, although certainly with an Asian twist. I've made a mole sauce using tamari almonds as the base. So you get the chocolate, salted chocolate thing going on there, and then a little bit of julienne kale, and I'm going to top that to add a little extra creaminess with a couple thin slices of avocado. Put that in there very delicately. Get the little guys to stand up. And then I'm going to start my third taco, which is again back to the Asian side. I've got some tomatoes from the garden outside, and I made a couple thin slices there. Put those into my taco shell, and I've got some kimchi that I've chopped up a little bit. That's going to add some heat and definitely some depth of flavor to my taco here. So I've got my three tacos. I'll put a little bit of make sure I got enough in there, and then I'll put a little bit of black sesame seeds on top, and I'll even sprinkle a little bit of that across my tostada as well. I'll clean up the plate a little bit, and I make juices, and I hate to throw away the pulp, so I dehydrate the pulp, and so I have a little bit of carrot powder, and then also a little bit of beet powder as well. I can sprinkle across there, using for garnish on this plate as well as some other plates. So there we have taco china trio of appetizers. So I'm going to clean up my mise en place and slide this plate off to the side. Slide my second entree plate, or my entree plate, forward here. I got my ring mold in there for my wild rice. And these are kung pao cashews. So I've seasoned them to be a little bit spicy and dried them out. They're nice and crunchy. Because my dish is kind of based on the flavors of kung pao is what I was trying to do. I put a couple rolls in there with stir-fried vegetables, some choji beets. And here's my dressing, also made to mimic flavor of kung pao. So it's got ginger and spices, and it's definitely got some warmth to it. And you want to make sure you don't put too much in there because it covers up the color of the vegetables, and it will also wilt the vegetables more than what I want them to be. And I sprinkle a little bit of cilantro on top as well. So my vegetables, I've got julienne snow peas, red peppers, and I've got some pickled carrots in there as well. So my choji beets, I did not season them because I don't want to cover up the color of those beautiful beets. So I put a little bit of my dressing, my sauce underneath there, and then put the beets on top. So we'll stir in the sauce into the stir-fried vegetables, coat them evenly. You can see I still maintain the nice bright colors. We'll put a few of those over on top of the choji beets, kind of off to one side, because you don't want to, again, you got those beautiful choji beets, and you don't want to cover those up entirely. We'll put a little bit more on there, make a nice portion. Set that off to the side. We'll start the rice. So I've got wild rice, just wild colors. I've got purple cauliflower, orange cauliflower. I put some jicama in there, and then sugar, agave, rice vinegar, and some salt. So we'll go ahead and fill up my ring mold here, press that in there. I let this wilt for about an hour. I still wanted the texture of the cauliflower, but I wanted the time for those seasonings to absorb in there. We'll pack it down a little bit so it'll mostly maintain its shape when I lift off the ring mold. Slide that in front of us, makes it a little bit easier, and slide it straight up. And it's okay if some of that falls down, gives it a little bit more of a natural look, not too terribly contrived. And I've got my two rolls here. I wilted some very thinly sliced zucchini and squash, and then rolled up some of my seasoned stir-fry vegetables inside of there. Let's prop those up on the side. I'm going to put some cilantro leaves on top of the rice. And of course, I went to all the work, and I'm going to top this with the Kung Pao cashews. So it adds everything is soft. So now I've got a range of textures from kind of soft to a little bit crunchy to very crunchy, and it also adds some additional heat to the dish as well. Slide those off to the side. 2 courses done, and then we'll start with dessert. So I've tried to pipe a little bit of ganache around the outside to close in that plate, and I've got fresh mango puree. And then to do this, I've got my mango ice cream, which just like I do at work, I've pre-scooped that ahead of time to make my life a little bit easier. And we'll just put those 3 scoops on there. Remember, we're trying to always stay with an odd number. Put those on kind of the corner of that mango. And then I'm going to top that with some sprouted oat groats that I had left over from the granola, and I've tossed that in a little buckwheat honey to make it kind of like a sticky crunch, and we'll sprinkle that on top again to give a different layer of texture and flavor to the dish. And we have 3 courses, Math at Kenney Online, Level 1. Thank you very much.